Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Momentum Makers. I'm so happy you're here today. You made the choice to tune in, to grow, and to reflect, and that right there is the foundation for change. Today, we're going to talk about something that's not always easy to hear, but absolutely necessary to address: mistakes. Not just any mistakes. Life-altering, opportunity-stealing, soul-draining mistakes. 10 of them, to be exact. Now let me tell you something before we dive in. Life is a teacher, and mistakes are its lessons. But the key is this: you don't have to make every mistake yourself to learn from them. Some lessons can come from the wisdom of others, from reflection, and from choosing to do better before life forces you to. The first mistake you should never make is underestimating yourself. Listen to me carefully. The world is already full of people who will doubt you, who will tell you that you're not enough, that you can't do it, or that you don't have what it takes. Don't you dare join their ranks. You've got to be your own greatest supporter, your own loudest cheerleader. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? The second mistake is putting your dreams on hold for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm talking about. I'll wait until the time is right. I'll wait until I have more money, more confidence, more support. Let me tell you, the time will never be perfect. The stars will never align in just the right way. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and create the moment. Start where you are with what you have and let the momentum build from there. The third mistake is chasing validation from others. Look, you can't control what people think about you, and you shouldn't even try. Too many people spend their lives twisting themselves into knots, trying to fit into someone else's version of what they should be. But here's the truth: you can't please everyone. So why not focus on pleasing the person who will live with every decision you make? That person is you. The fourth mistake is neglecting your health. Mental, physical, and spiritual. You can't build a life worth living if your foundation is crumbling. Take care of your body, your mind, and your soul. Exercise, rest, eat well, pray or meditate. Do what you need to do to keep yourself whole. Because when you're healthy, you're unstoppable. The fifth mistake is holding on to toxic people and situations. Now, I'm not saying walk away from every challenge or every difficult relationship, but if someone or something is consistently draining your energy, tearing you down, and keeping you from growing, it's time to let it go. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't grow if you're surrounded by weeds. The sixth mistake is fearing failure. Let me tell you something. Failure is not the enemy. It's a teacher, a guide, a necessary part of growth. The only real failure is never trying in the first place. Stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as a step forward. Every great success story is filled with moments of failure. It's not about falling down. It's about getting back up every single time. The seventh mistake is ignoring your own happiness. Life is short, my friends. Too short to spend all your time chasing someone else's dreams, living up to someone else's expectations, or sacrificing your joy for something that doesn't truly matter to you. Make time for what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, that's what will make your life worth living. The eighth mistake is refusing to ask for help. Let me be real with you. No one gets through this life alone. Not me, not you, not anyone. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It shows that you're willing to learn, to grow, and to build something bigger than yourself. Don't let pride stand in the way of your progress. The ninth mistake is living in the past. Look, the past is done. It's over. It's gone. Learn from it, yes. Reflect on it, sure. But don't live there. Don't let yesterday's mistakes, regrets, or heartbreaks rob you of today's opportunities. You've got to let go of the old so you can make room for the new. Right now, ask yourself this question: growing or dying? And finally, the 10th mistake is forgetting to be grateful. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to abundance. When you take the time to appreciate what you have, you create space for more blessings to come your way. Gratitude shifts your perspective, reminding you that even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found. Now, I want you to take these 10 lessons and hold on to them. Reflect on them. Use them as a guide to shape your choices and your life. Because mistakes don't define you. How you rise above them does. Believing in yourself is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. It's the core of how you rise when others count you out, the root of how you persevere when life gets hard, and the key to unlocking the full potential of what you can become. Many people underestimate their worth because they let the voices of doubt and negativity around them define their capabilities. Those voices tell you what you can't do, who you can't be, and why you're not enough. But the truth is, those voices are not the authority over your life. You are. The world has a way of challenging you at every turn, questioning your value and your place in it. Whether it's society, peers, or even family, there will always be someone who tells you that you don't measure up. It might come in the form of criticism, rejection, or comparisons to someone else. Those moments are hard. They can chip away at your confidence if you let them. But you have to understand something. Your worth is not determined by others. It is something intrinsic, something that was placed within you from the moment you came into this world. And the moment you decide to own that truth, you become unstoppable. Believing in yourself starts with silencing the inner critic, that voice inside your head that says, "What if I fail?" or "What if I'm not good enough?" It's a voice we all hear, but it's also one we have the power to control. You can't eliminate fear entirely, but you can choose not to let it drive your decisions. When that voice starts to creep in, you have to replace it with another voice, one that says, "I can do this. I am capable. I am worthy." It might feel unnatural at first, but the more you practice, the more it becomes second nature. Self-belief is not arrogance, it's self-respect. It's knowing your value without needing constant validation. It's standing firm in your purpose, even when the path ahead is unclear. When you believe in yourself, you give yourself permission to dream bigger, to aim higher, and to go after things that others might think are out of your reach. You begin to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to prove to yourself just how strong and resilient you are. But here's the thing. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll always feel confident. Confidence comes and goes. It's like a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. There will be days when doubt creeps back in, and that's okay. The key is to keep moving forward despite those doubts. Action breeds confidence. The more you take steps toward your goals, the more you'll see what you're truly capable of, and that will fuel your belief in yourself even further. Another important aspect of self-belief is surrounding yourself with the right people. The company you keep plays a significant role in shaping how you see yourself. If you're constantly around people who tear you down or make you question your worth, it becomes much harder to believe in yourself. Seek out those who uplift you, who challenge you to grow, and who remind you of your potential when you lose sight of it. These people are your allies in the journey of life, and their presence can make all the difference. You also have to be willing to invest in yourself. That means putting in the time, effort, and resources to grow and improve, whether it's learning new skills, pursuing education, or taking care of your mental and physical health. These investments show that you value yourself enough to prioritize your well-being and your future. When you take yourself seriously, others will too. End quote. Believing in yourself is also about understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has faced setbacks, made mistakes, and experienced moments of doubt. What sets them apart is that they didn't let those moments define them. They chose to see failure as feedback, as a lesson, as a stepping stone. You have to do the same. When things don't go as planned, remind yourself that it's not the end. It's just a detour, and detours often lead to unexpected destinations. There will be times when believing in yourself feels like an uphill battle. Maybe you've been knocked down so many times that getting back up seems impossible. Maybe you've been told over and over again that you're not enough. In those moments, you have to dig deep and remember who you are. Remember what you've overcome, what you've achieved, and what you're capable of. Draw strength from your past victories, no matter how small they may seem. It's also important to set boundaries. Part of believing in yourself is knowing when to say no, when to walk away, and when to protect your energy. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't be everything to everyone. By setting boundaries, you're showing yourself that your needs and goals matter just as much as anyone else's. Finally, never stop celebrating yourself. Too often, we wait for big milestones to acknowledge our progress. But every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. Each accomplishment, each moment of growth, and each victory, those are the building blocks of your belief in yourself. Recognize them, appreciate them, and let them remind you of just how far you've come. Taking action is the key to progress, growth, and transformation. Too many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They tell themselves, "I'll start when the timing is right," or "I'll wait until I feel ready." But the truth is, the perfect moment rarely comes, and readiness is something that grows as you take steps forward. The longer you wait, the more opportunities pass you by, and the more time you lose. Now, action is what separates dreams from reality, ideas from accomplishments, and potential from success. This is Dr. Eric Clapper in a Resurrection Series number 3 on the Deeper Life Project. Until next time, when you take action, you set the wheels in motion. You create momentum, and that momentum propels you forward. Even if the steps you take feel small or insignificant, they add up over time. Each decision, each effort, and each move you make brings you closer to your goals. But none of it happens unless you start. The first step is always the hardest, because it's the one that requires the most courage. It's the step that challenges your fears, doubts, and uncertainties. But once you take it, you realize that the path ahead isn't as daunting as it seemed. Mike. One of the most common reasons people delay action is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. These fears can be paralyzing, keeping you stuck in a cycle of overthinking and hesitation. But fear is a natural part of growth. It's a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and into new territory. The key is not to let fear control you. Acknowledge it, but don't let it dictate your choices. Instead, use it as fuel to push yourself forward. Another barrier to action is the desire for perfection. People often feel they need to have everything figured out before they begin. They want the plan to be flawless, the conditions to be ideal, and the outcome to be guaranteed. But perfection is an illusion. No plan is without flaws, and no path is without challenges. Waiting for perfection is just another form of procrastination. It's better to start imperfectly than to not start at all. As you take action, you'll learn, adapt, and improve along the way. Taking action also requires discipline. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, when progress feels slow, or when obstacles seem insurmountable. Those are the moments when discipline matters most. Discipline is about showing up consistently, even when it's hard. It's about staying committed to your goals, even when the results aren't immediate. Action is not just about doing, it's about doing with intention. It's about knowing what you want and why you want it. When you have a clear sense of purpose, your actions become more focused and meaningful. You're not just busy for the sake of being busy. You're making progress in the direction that matters most to you. Purpose gives your actions depth, and it keeps you grounded when challenges arise. It's also important to remember that action is a process, not a one-time event. It's not enough to take one step and then stop. You have to keep moving, keep building, and keep striving. Progress is a series of actions, repeated consistently over time. It's about creating habits that align with your goals and sticking to them, even when it's tough. One of the most powerful things about taking action is that it builds confidence. When you take steps toward your goals, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Each small victory reinforces your belief in your abilities and motivates you to keep going. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel before you act. It's something you build through action. Taking action also opens doors. When you move toward your goals, you create opportunities that wouldn't have existed otherwise. You meet new people, learn new skills, and discover new possibilities. Action creates a ripple effect, where one step leads to another, and before you know it, you've made progress you never thought possible. Sometimes, the actions you take won't lead to immediate results. You might put in the effort and not see the payoff right away. That's where patience comes in. Progress takes time, and success is rarely instant. But every step you take is a step closer to where you want to be. Trust the process, and don't be discouraged by setbacks or delays. Action also requires adaptability. As you move forward, you might encounter unexpected challenges or changes in your circumstances. The path you envisioned might not be the one you end up taking, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep going, even if you have to adjust your course along the way. Being flexible and open to change is a strength, not a weakness. It's also worth noting that action isn't always about big, dramatic moves. Sometimes, it's the small, consistent actions that make the biggest difference. It's the daily habits, the little choices, and the incremental progress that add up over time. Don't underestimate the power of small steps. They might not seem like much in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, they can transform your life. Taking action is also about taking ownership of your life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your future. You're not a passive observer. You're an active participant. Your choices, efforts, and actions determine your outcomes. When you take responsibility for your life, you empower yourself to create the future you want. Finally, taking action is an act of faith. It's believing in yourself and your vision, even when the path ahead is uncertain. It's trusting that your efforts will pay off, even when the results aren't immediate. Faith gives you the courage to take that first step and the perseverance to keep going. Embracing the mistakes you've made in life is a vital step toward growth and self-improvement. Mistakes are not the end of the road. They are markers along the journey that show you where you went off course and where you need to adjust. Too often, people get caught up in shame or regret, letting their mistakes define them instead of using them as lessons to propel themselves forward. But the truth is, every mistake carries a lesson, and every lesson makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It's not about falling. It's about learning how to rise after you fall. When you make a mistake, it's tempting to focus solely on the negative aspects of the situation. You may feel embarrassed, frustrated, or disappointed in yourself. These emotions are natural, but they shouldn't consume you. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, shift your focus to what you can learn. Ask yourself, what does this situation teach me? What can I do differently next time? These questions help you move from a mindset of self-criticism to one of self-improvement. It's also important to acknowledge that mistakes are a part of being human. No one is perfect, and everyone makes missteps along the way. Even the most successful people in the world have stories of failure and mistakes. What sets them apart is their ability to see those moments as opportunities for growth. They don't let mistakes hold them back. They use them as stepping stones to greater achievements. When you embrace your mistakes, you also open yourself up to the possibility of vulnerability. Admitting that you've made a mistake can be difficult, because it requires you to acknowledge your imperfections. But vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. It allows you to be honest with yourself and others, fostering deeper connections and mutual respect. When you own up to your mistakes, you show humility and a willingness to grow, which inspires others to do the same. One of the greatest benefits of embracing your mistakes is the resilience it builds. Each time you face a setback and choose to learn from it, you strengthen your ability to bounce back. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows stronger with use. Over time, you become better equipped to handle challenges and less afraid of making mistakes because you know they are not the end of the story. Mistakes also teach you the value of persistence. When you're willing to try again after failing, you demonstrate determination and grit. Success is rarely achieved on the first attempt. It's often the result of repeated efforts, adjustments, and perseverance. Each mistake brings you one step closer to figuring out what works and achieving your goals. Another powerful lesson that mistakes teach is the importance of self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things go wrong, but beating yourself up doesn't help you grow. Instead, practice kindness toward yourself. Recognize that mistakes are a natural part of the learning process and that you're doing your best with the knowledge and resources you have at the time. Self-compassion allows you to move forward without the weight of unnecessary guilt or self-judgment. Embracing mistakes also fosters a growth mindset. When you see mistakes as opportunities for learning rather than failures, you shift your perspective from fixed to growth-oriented. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. It's the understanding that setbacks are not a reflection of your worth, but a chance to improve and evolve. This mindset empowers you to take risks, try new things, and push beyond your comfort zone. Mistakes often serve as mirrors, reflecting areas where you need to grow or change. They highlight patterns, habits, or beliefs that may be holding you back. For example, if you consistently make the same mistake in relationships, it might reveal a deeper issue that needs attention, such as communication or self-worth. By addressing these underlying issues, you pave the way for personal transformation and healthier choices in the future. Learning from your mistakes also enhances your decision-making skills. Each time you analyze what went wrong and why, you gain insights that inform your future choices. Over time, this process sharpens your judgment and helps you make more thoughtful, intentional decisions. You become more proactive and less reactive, reducing the likelihood of repeating the same mistakes. Building proclivity is difficult. It's worth noting that embracing mistakes doesn't mean excusing them or ignoring their consequences. Accountability is a crucial part of the process. When you take responsibility for your actions, you demonstrate integrity and a commitment to growth. Accountability involves acknowledging the impact of your mistakes, making amends when necessary, and taking steps to prevent them from happening again. Mistakes also teach you the value of patience and long-term thinking. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to expect instant results and quick fixes. But meaningful growth takes time, and mistakes are often part of that process. They remind you to be patient with yourself and to trust that progress is not always linear. Setbacks are a natural part of the journey, but they don't define the destination. Another important lesson from mistakes is the importance of adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go as planned. When you make a mistake, it's an opportunity to reassess your approach and adapt to changing circumstances. Flexibility allows you to pivot when needed and find new paths to success. Mistakes can also be a source of innovation and creativity. Some of the greatest discoveries and inventions in history were the result of mistakes. When you're open to learning from your errors, you may stumble upon new ideas, solutions, or perspectives that you hadn't considered before. Mistakes can spark creativity and lead to breakthroughs that wouldn't have happened otherwise. Finally, embracing your mistakes helps you cultivate gratitude. When you look back on the challenges you've overcome and the lessons you've learned, you can appreciate how far you've come. Mistakes shape your character and contribute to your story. They make you more empathetic, compassionate, and understanding toward yourself and others. Gratitude allows you to see mistakes as a necessary and valuable part of your journey, rather than something to be feared or avoided. Life is full of distractions. Every day we are bombarded with things that pull our attention in 1,000 different directions. It could be the noise of social media, the constant demands of work, or the opinions of others telling us what we should do or who we should be. But one of the biggest mistakes you can make in life is to lose focus on your own path. When you're not clear about your purpose, it's easy to get caught up in someone else's plans, to let your energy be consumed by things that don't serve your goals or your growth. Staying focused on your own journey is not just about achieving success, it's about living a life that is true to who you are. One of the reasons people lose focus is because they're trying to do too much at once. We live in a culture that glorifies multitasking, that tells us we have to juggle everything perfectly to be seen as successful. But the truth is, spreading yourself too thin only dilutes your energy and makes it harder to make meaningful progress in any one area. Focus requires prioritization. It means deciding what's truly important to you and being willing to let go of the rest. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. When you focus on your own path, you free yourself from the need for constant comparison. It's easy to look at someone else's life and think they have it all figured out, to feel like you're falling behind because their journey looks different from yours. But comparison is the thief of joy. It distracts you from your own unique gifts and the progress you've made. You have to remember that your journey is yours alone. It doesn't matter how fast someone else is moving or what milestones they've achieved. What matters is that you're moving forward in the direction that feels right for you. Staying focused also means being intentional about the energy you allow into your life. Not everyone will understand your vision, and that's okay. You don't need everyone's approval to pursue your dreams. Some people may doubt you, criticize you, or try to pull you off course. But you have to stay rooted in your purpose. Protect your energy by surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, who believe in you, and who challenge you to be better. Let go of relationships that drain you or make you question your worth. Distractions don't just come from the outside world, they also come from within. Doubt, fear, and insecurity can all cloud your vision and make it hard to stay on track. You might find yourself questioning whether you're good enough, whether you're capable of achieving your goals, or whether it's even worth trying. These internal distractions are often the most difficult to overcome because they come from your own mind. But just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean you have to believe it. You have the power to choose which thoughts you focus on. Feed the thoughts that empower you and let go of the ones that hold you back. One of the most powerful ways to stay focused on your path is to have a clear sense of your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What drives you? What are you working toward? When your why is strong, it becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded when things get tough and gives you the motivation to keep going even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Your why is the foundation of your focus, and it's what will keep you aligned with your purpose. Focus also requires discipline. It's not enough to know what you want. You have to be willing to put in the work to make it happen. Discipline means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It means staying committed to your goals, even when progress feels slow or setbacks arise. Discipline is about consistency. It's the small, daily actions that add up over time to create big results. When you stay disciplined, you build momentum, and that momentum makes it easier to keep moving forward. Another key to staying focused is learning to say no. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. If you're constantly saying yes to things that don't align with your goals, you'll find yourself feeling overwhelmed and off track. Saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about protecting your time and energy so you can invest them in what truly matters. It's about setting boundaries and honoring your own priorities. Staying focused on your path also means being adaptable. Life is unpredictable and things won't always go according to plan. You might encounter obstacles, setbacks, or unexpected opportunities that require you to adjust your course. Being focused doesn't mean being rigid. It means staying aligned with your purpose while remaining open to new possibilities. It's about finding balance, being determined yet flexible, persistent yet willing to pivot when needed. Finally, focus requires self-reflection. It's important to regularly check in with yourself to make sure you're still on the right path. Are your actions aligned with your goals? Are you moving closer to the life you want, or have you gotten sidetracked? Self-reflection helps you course correct when necessary and ensures that you're living intentionally. It allows you to celebrate your progress, learn from your mistakes, and stay connected to your purpose.